The jogging shot should be considered a special effect because it can be a little unsettling for those that are trying to learn from your educational videos, so you want to avoid camera wobble. For moving shots, a gooseneck mount can be used with or without a tripod just to help stabilize the shot. By using the camera mount, we remove some of the shakiness and we eliminate that feel like we're jogging, so it makes the object of the video a little bit easier to focus on. Remember, you've got two eyes that take in far more than the camera viewfinder can. One common mistake is called fire hosing, where you look through the viewfinder and your camera angle looks as if you're a fireman trying to put out a fire that's on the subject of your shot. Try instead planning your shot ahead to capture your entire desired view, or use your eyes, not the viewfinder, to plot a smoother path on the fly. Let's take a look at the effect of standing in front of a very bright light source like the sun, or in this case, very strong indoor lighting. The face of the subject that you're trying to film is very dark, it's very obscured, and it's not very easy to see. We can fix this with one quick turnaround. By putting the light in front of instead of behind your subject, we get a much clearer picture of what we're trying to look at, and something that's easier to discern in our videos. Here, we've got two very common pitfalls, one being that the camera angle is nearly going straight up my nose, and number two, this is a very unflattering shot for a disembodied head, so we've got to address both the camera angle and the closeness of the camera to the subject. We can improve this issue with our shot by moving the camera back a bit and changing the angle that we film at so that we're not filming directly up my nose. Now you also want to alter the elevation of the shot so that we make sure that we're not cutting off at the shoulder or the elbow or the wrist, so that it looks like we would be cutting off any limbs right at the joint, because that can be an awkward shot. In the search for a good spot to film in, also consider the busyness of the background. So with what's behind me right now, if I were watching this video, I would be trying to pick out what the book titles were and maybe what was going on back there. Consider the background that you're filming in with respect to what you're wearing. Now I'm wearing almost the same shade on my shirt as what's behind me, so we get the floating head effect. You want to make sure that you stand out from your background by keeping a neutral background and something that pops. So try and look for something a little brighter, something that has contrast that makes you stand out from the background so that the subject or whoever you're filming is easier to pick out. Clip 13A. I'm sorry, what camera should I be looking at? Should I be looking at, is it this one? Oh, clip 13B. Okay. Alright. Oh, we're filming? Oh, okay. Hold on. I've got to restart. So, line, I forgot what I was supposed to be saying. Final clip of clip 13. So, forgot that one too. Final clip of clip 13. Numerous retakes, or stopping and starting the camera repeatedly, can really extend the time that it takes to make an educational video. So instead of stopping and starting repeatedly, if you mess up, if you flub a word, now if it's a small mistake, it's okay, they happen, don't worry about refilming. But if you feel the need, then signal yourself that this clip needs to cut here. Give yourself 5 seconds. And then restart your video with a fresh start. So you can always edit later when we get to the software step without having 80 retakes while you're filming. Sometimes it feels like we have too much equipment and we're trying to juggle the iPad and the tripod and the mount, the camera bag. It can all be so daunting. So you don't have to do it all yourself. Videographer, editor, actor. Just make sure that you call in backup and give them plenty of forewarning. You don't want to surprise people on a regular basis making your educational videos. And sometimes it just calls for a little bit of creativity. Sometimes it takes a little masking tape and elbow grease, but use what you have at your disposal to get things done. Don't forget to get creative while using the iPad and the iPad mount. We can pair this with a tripod and just a basic cart. And in doing so, we can get a mobile tripod and stabilize some of our shots for following a subject, or if you would like to maybe move across a whiteboard and pan without having your camera shake. Now there are multiple problems with this shot. One of the problems is that I'm stuck in the corner and I'm a disembodied head. We don't want that. The other issue is I'm not talking to anyone really. For the best that we know, as viewers of this video, I'm talking to the wall, which is a problem. The other problem is I'm not taking up a whole lot of real estate in the shot. There's a lot going on in this shot that's not the subject that's speaking. So we need a little more balance. Let's address this issue by tackling both the rule of thirds and by giving the camera a little bit of lead space. Starting with a blank canvas, we can draw in guidelines, dividing the screen vertically and horizontally into thirds, providing areas of ideal placement for the central subject matter for your shots and clips. An intuitive move, but not necessarily the most aesthetically pleasing, would be to center the picture in the frame as shown. Now, if instead of centering, we take this image and lie it along one of the thirds guidelines, leaving the head of the subject on one of the upper third guidelines, we end up with something a little more aesthetically pleasing, because on the left side of the screen we've left a little bit of lead room, a little white space, and we've also left the focus of our subject in the upper thirds lying right along one of the guidelines. So this is our corrected shot, and I've addressed two things while correcting our original video clip. I've given myself what's called lead room, so while I'm speaking, I'm not speaking into the edge of the frame of the camera shot, and you can see where I'm directed towards. Also, you can note that we've placed the head or the subject of who's talking in the upper left portion of the screen, so the upper left third. This is statistically where people are going to focus the most on a shot. So might as well maximize where you viewers are looking by putting your subject where you know they're going to look. So this is a sweet spot to use. Hey everybody, my contact information is written below, right down there, so if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And again, thanks for watching.